Hello everyone, welcome back to the day 3 of HyperLedger in 100 Days series. Hope everyone has gone through the day 1 and day 2 series. So once again, I would like to explain what HyperLedger in 100 Days is. So this is a series of videos ranging from 3 minutes to 10 minutes or maybe 20 minutes covering different concepts, both theoretical as well as practical and business oriented as well. We'll be covering more of theoretical and practical, as well as I'll try to cover the business side of Hyperledger as well. So initially, on the day one, we start with what Hyperledger is, what the role it's playing in the blockchain domain. Next, the different projects and tools which are coming under Hyperledger umbrella. And today, I would like to focus on Hyperledger Fabric. Hyperledger Fabric, as explained yesterday, is one of uh, the initial platform which Hyperledger came up. So let me go to once again to the main site. I mean, this is a reference point for all the projects I would be explaining. So let's go to Hyperledger Fabric, which is a permission with channel support. And this one, it's right now at an active state. So let's see the code. So we have a complete, complete log of the complete Hyperledger Fabric version. And right now we are on version 1.4. It's been like every quarter or 3 to 4 months there'll be a release. And right now we're in version 1.4. This is the latest version. And for this series, I would be covering the version 1.4 within Hyperledger Fabric. So let's go to Hyperledger Fabric version 1.4. So if there's one place to learn Hyperledger Fabric, this is that place. This should be the Bible for learning Hyperledger Fabric. Now let's go to Hyperledger Fabric modules. So as explained yesterday, Hyperledger Fabric has multiple components. But before that, why Hyperledger Fabric? Why do we need to focus on that? And again, coming back, what is blockchain? Blockchain is nothing but an immutable ledger having multiple nodes and multiple blocks containing information. And with that, we have to maintain that we need to have an incentive where we use cryptocurrency, mainly Bitcoin, and then you need to write code in a programming language called Solidity, which is specifically focusing on Ethereum, and which is also Ethereum is public and permissionless. This use case is good for public blockchain, but what if we need enterprise level blockchain? That is where Hyperledger comes, and within Hyperledger, Hyperledger Fabric is the main one. Now, what are the problems which Ethereum is facing? If a developer wants to develop a new application on Ethereum, he needs to learn Solidity. If at all companies want to secure the data in the best way possible and they want the complete control of the data, at the same time have blockchain advantages, Hyperledger Fabric is the answer to that. So now, without further ado, let's go further into Hyperledger Fabric. So right now, what does enterprise needs? Enterprise needs to identify all the participants who are doing transactions, a network which is permissioned, which means only the members within the network should join, and a high transaction, low latency, and mainly privacy and confidentiality, which every enterprise company wants. With these points in consideration, Hyperledger Fabric has been evolved. So now, what is Hyperledger Fabric? Hyperledger Fabric, according to me, is an enterprise level blockchain which is permissioned, where it is modular. You can have your custom consensus, custom algorithms, custom permission levels. You'd have the complete control on the network. So now, let's go a little more into that. Who is maintain Hyperledger Fabric and the different organizations involved? As we can see, we are having almost 35 organizations controlling Hyperledger Fabric project, which is an open source, and nearly 200 developers, and the count might have increased now as well. Let's check the count. Yes, 27 releases, 165 contributors, and 8,900 commits till now. Now, as we discussed, within Hyperledger Fabric, you want to write code, and this code is not agnostic to one platform like Solidity, where we should learn Solidity and do it. Whichever programming language you're good at, you can use that. But for now, Hyperledger Fabric came up with three programming languages where you can write a custom code, which is called a chain code, which is also called a smart contract in general. Second point, Fabric is permissioned, which means it is not public. Only the members whom you want to give access will be able to join the network, will be able to do transactions, will be able to do different operations based on the permissions they get. That is why we call it permissioned. Now, consensus. Right now, consensus mechanisms we are having crash fault tolerant, BFT. There are many pluggable consensus protocol. You can use protocol which is required for your project. Now, Ethereum needs a cryptocurrency to run, but Hyperledger Fabric, which is an enterprise blockchain, doesn't need any cryptocurrency. This is a major difference between enterprise blockchain, which is Hyperledger, and the Ethereum. We need not have any cryptocurrency to do anything, which reduces the burden of mining and other activities as well. Now, and as we said before, privacy and confidentiality is within Hyperledger Fabric. We can go deep dive into each part. What is modularity? What is permission? Permissionless blockchains? What is smart contract? And all. So now I'll just take few more minutes to cover these topics in a little more detail. First, modularity. By modularity, it means having different modules. You can plug and play whichever module you use. For example, if you want a different ordering service, you can use Solo or you can use Kafka. So Kafka cluster, it's more of a messaging service where multiple messages comes and you want to maintain the load of multiple messages, you'll be using Kafka. But for any POCs, you can use Solo. But for any production level consensus we ordering service, sorry, we would be needing Kafka. Now, coming to MSP, Membership Service Provider, every operation done within Hyperledger Fabric, a person should have the required cryptographic identities, which is managed by something called MSP, which is Membership Service Provider. Now, within Hyperledger Fabric, every peer and peer needs to communicate, which is nothing but a gossip protocol. It internally uses gRPC for that. And you use smart contracts to run a chain code, and for deploying that, you'd be using Docker and you'd be writing programming language either in Go, Node.js, or Java, and you'd be using your custom databases and everything. Now, permission and permissionless. As we discussed before, Hyperledger Fabric is a permissioned blockchain, which means you can give access to the members whom you want. Now, coming to smart contracts. Right now, in existing, smart contract blockchain platforms, the way they use is order and execute, which means that a person will, let's take an example of Ethereum. A person will solve a problem basing on that algorithm. It's called proof of work. Once a node gets the required hash, it will order to all the peers saying that it has done. And all the peers will execute that a transaction has been done and it will be added to their individual databases. Itself a peer. Now, but within Hyperledger Fabric, we have something called execute, order, and validate. This is a different approach which is different from Ethereum. Let's see what execute, order, and validate means. Now, executing a transaction and checking its correctness, thereby endorsing it. For example, once we go into practical, we'll be understanding it a little more, but just try to understand that the approach for any transaction to be done is first, a person would be executing, which means internally he'll be executing the transaction and checking internally whether it's right or wrong. Once if the required peer says the transaction being done is according to the policies and permissions given, it will go to the next step, which is ordering of the service, where the order goes to all the different other peers. It will communicate saying that a transaction is being done, and all of them once again does a validation before committing to the ledger. So this is a new approach. Grabbing this concept will take some more time. We would be doing in the next video. And privacy and confidentiality, the word itself explains it. And how are we achieving privacy and confidentiality? I'll be teaching in the next sessions. And pluggable consensus, will come to that. Performance and scalability, will even come to that in later sessions. But at a higher level, I wanted to cover the introduction of Hyperledger Fabric today. What is Hyperledger Fabric? The different modularity, the permission, the smart contract, the execute order, validate approach they are following, and the different methods. So till today, we have just covered the theoretical part. From tomorrow onwards, it would be more practical. We would be downloading Hyperledger Fabric, running the network, and learning it in a practical way. Hope you found the session informative. For any suggestions, feel free to drop a comment. And thank you for a person named Block McChain for for giving his comments. And yes, I mean, I'll I'll ensure that the information I know, I will try to do my best job in completing the 100 days. Yes, and thank you for the support. So this is it from my side. Once again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.